And we have a message here from Hadouken UK. Hey, yeah, buddy, just subbed. Really enjoying the videos. Big smiley face. First question, did you read gaming mags as a kid? And if so, what was your favourite? You better believe I read a lot of gaming magazines. I read everything from Sega Power, Sega Force, N-Force, Total, CVG, Games Master, even Super Play. And at the time I didn't even have any Nintendo consoles. As for my favourite gaming magazine, I'd probably have to go with one of the very first I ever started to read. That was a multi-format magazine called Rays. Didn't last very long, only lasted 12 issues. But what I remember so vividly about that magazine, it had a heavy emphasis, not just on consoles, which at the time were a new thing, but on the Japanese side of gaming. At the time, I knew next to nothing about anime or manga, and in this magazine they'd be talking about things like dating simulators and even hentai games. So it showed me then that there was this whole world of gaming that I'd yet to discover. So for that reason, I'm going to go with Rays. Seconds. What is your favourite video game song? Now this is a question I've actually mulling over longer than any of the others I've answered so far. Favourite video game song? I'm not big on collecting, say, video game soundtracks. There are a lot of game music I do enjoy, but as for my favourite video game song, do you know what? I'm going to cheat a little and I'm going to say the soundtrack from Street Fighter 2. Simply because I played that game so much and so hard when I was younger, that music just became etched into my subconscious. So yeah, I'm going to say the soundtrack from Street Fighter 2. Probably particularly Guile's stage, my personal favourite. Third question. Sony and Microsoft banning pre-owned games. Yay or nay? Now here's a thorny subject. Now obviously I've mentioned that I'm both a gamer and a collector, so obviously I want on my box pristine copies of games, but when you consider that probably the biggest gaming platform at the moment is mobile phones, so do you really think people who download games like Fruit Ninja are worried that they don't have a box or don't have a manual? And it looks like that is the format that the big companies are looking at now. They're trying to cut out the middleman and so the game's direct to the gamer. There's no right or wrong answer on this subject. If you're a gamer, you want to play games. If you want to collect games, unfortunately in the next few years, I'm not going to be happy hunting for you. So that's very much a nay from me then. Who's next? Oh ho ho! Look who it is here, Mr. Dirk Omnivore. Now, some of you, actually I should say all of you, will never have heard of this guy, but he is in fact my younger brother. And a guy I've been trying to persuade to set up his own gaming channel here on YouTube, but he's not really receptive to the idea. I don't think even he understands just how much his knowledge and experience of gaming would be appreciated here on YouTube. Bruv, sort it out. What's he saying? Alright bruv, Chris here. I got some questions for ya. Number one. Favourite RPG game of all time? That's a doozy. If there's one thing we share, bruv, it's a love of RPGs. Now, do you remember way back that when you borrowed a copy of Suikoden 1 of one of your friends and never played it? Well, I did, and I loved it. So I went out looking all around every shop I could find, looking for a copy for myself. I eventually came across one in a bargain bin for £6 in Woolworths. That'll tell you how long ago it was. But I loved it so much that when the sequel came out, I went out and bought it a day or two after its release, and I loved it. So I'm going to say my favourite RPG isn't one of the best games that you can buy, but it's certainly one of the RPG games I've had the most fun playing. Suikoden 2. Awesome little game. 2. What game have you put the most total hours into ever? This is a very, very easy question. You should already know the answer to this one, and it's got to be the Football Manager series. It wouldn't be unusual for me to put 1,000 hours plus into each and every version of that game. I've deliberately not played the recent version all that much, just put a couple of hours into it, because if I got 2 into it, I wouldn't do anything else. Football Manager. Not just a game, it's an addiction.
3. What did you think of Michael Bay's Transformers movies? Be honest. Oh God.
Oh, bloody Bayfulness. Now I'm going to say something here which is probably going to surprise a lot of you. And that's, I didn't actually think the Michael Bay Transformers movies were all that bad. Let me explain before you start throwing rotten fruit at the screen. I went to the cinema to see the first Transformers movie. I just downloaded the second and third ones. The first movie, I thought it was alright for what it was. A big budget Hollywood spectacular. And I thought it was alright. The second one, I remember hearing all the bad and negative press that's coming its way. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to watch this just to see if it really is as bad as people say. The first third of that movie, I wanted to claw my eyes out. But towards the end, I actually found myself enjoying it. And after it was all said and done, I actually thought it was a half decent movie. I had no intention of watching it again, but yeah, I thought it was alright. As for the third one, I deliberately wanted to know nothing about it. Then I watched it. And I thought it was brilliant! Letting the white. Oh, it's fantastic. I really, really enjoyed that third movie. I was so shocked at myself. I want to say appalled, but no, I was generally shocked at myself that I could enjoy that film. Now Michael Bay, I remember when he first came out with his first film, Bad Boys, and I watched that in, 95, 96, I thought this was a director to watch. His subsequent films from The Rock all the way up to Pearl Harbor have been a train wreck. I don't care for the guy myself. But with Transformers 4 on its way, I can honestly say I'm excited about it. I don't know about you guys, and what do you guys think? Is it just me? Have I gone mad, or is this some sort of midlife crisis? I don't know, but I like the Transformers movies overall.
Have you moved from easy to medium in Rock Band yet?
Oh, Rock Band. Yes, I have. Yes, I have moved up to medium on Rock Band. That doesn't mean I'm any better at it. It's like I've got 10 thumbs or something. I don't know. I just not cut out for them Guitar Hero controllers. But it's a different story when you talk about DJ Hero. Now, DJ Hero, I'm like a ghost of Jam Master J.
5. Favourite Saturn game and why? You know I love my Saturn.
Hold on, I'm thinking. Okay. No. Okay. Trying to choose my favourite Saturn title is like trying to choose my favourite child. A difficult, not necessarily impossible choice. I'm going to go for a game which you're probably going to have to take my word for it as being one of the best Sega Saturn games, because it's not an easy game to get hold of, and that's Panzer Dragoon Saga, an epic RPG based on one of the best shoot-'em-up franchises that nobody's ever played.
And finally 6. Why have you not played the Ace Attorney games, even though I keep saying you should? Well done, 100 subs. Thanks, bruv.
Objection! Yes, I have got the game, and I have played it. I think the butler did it. But did you know that top Japanese director Takeshi Miike, the man behind such films as Ichi the Killer and 13 Assassins, has made a live-action version of Ace Attorney, and it's available now in all good video stores, and even some crap ones.
Now sort your internet out and get on YouTube yourself. Oh, we have Mr. Hygiene 76. Now I think he comes from the north of England. If I know anything about them northerners, it's that they love their food. And if Hygiene 76 is from up north, then I bet he'd know tripe when he sees it. Okay then, question 1. Konami 1980s to 95 or Capcom 1980s to 95? Games or arcade? Which company best? Smiley face.
Damn man, I think that is the hardest question I've been asked so far. Back towards the end of the 16-bit era, when I finally got my hands on the Super Nintendo, I went through a phase where I became obsessed with Konami, trying to go out and buy every game made by them on the 16-bit system. Capcom, do you know what? You couldn't get a fag paper between these two companies when it comes to the sheer quantity and quality of titles, both on home systems and on arcades. But I'm going to say Capcom, and for one reason, and I think you know what it is, Street Fighter 2. That game was a watershed moment in the history of gaming, and for that reason alone, that one game, I'm going to say Capcom.
Number 2. What system would you spray in a colour of your choice?
What system would I spray the colour of my choice? I did get into console modification in a little way. Always wanted to chip my machines to make sure they all ran at 60 Hz and all that. As a spraying them the colour, given the choice, I'd always try and keep them in the original colour, but I had a lot of friends who used to do the old spray painting. I did ask one guy to spray paint my Super Nintendo to give it the same colour scheme as a Japanese Sega Mega Drive. He didn't do it though.
Hulk Hogan or Ultimate Warrior?
Oh man, the first big wrestling event I ever saw was way back in 1990, WrestleMania 6, and the main event that day was Hulk Hogan, the World Wrestling Federation champion, against Ultimate Warrior, then the Intercontinental champion. The match itself was pretty poor, but the build-up was fantastic, and for a little while I was big wrestling fan. If I had to choose between the two, I've always liked Hulk Hogan. I was very much a minority at my school. No one at my school liked Hulk Hogan. Everyone I knew liked Mr. Perfect and Ravishing Rick Rude. But yeah, you got to see I'm a warrior, don't you? All that shaking the ropes, face paint, brilliant. I'm a little warrior. That's what I am.
And last, but by no means least, we have Richard Bottomley, who says, Fallout 3 versus Fallout New Vegas, which do you prefer and why? And if you have not played these titles, then why not?
You guessed right, my friends, I haven't played either of them. But I do remember the first Fallout game when that came out. When was that? Back in 98 or something like that? I was just beginning to get into PC gaming, buying games like Half-Life, The Longest Journey, Grim Fandango, Dungeon Keeper and a few others. That was a game I wanted to get. I believe Fallout 3 was the first version available on console, and seeing as I can't really give you much of a response, well, the reason why I haven't played them is I picked up a 360, PlayStation 3, Wii and PSP all in a short space of time towards the end of 2010, because that's when I got out of debt. Before then, I had to sell off a large chunk of my games collection, almost everything else I owned, just to get by. But I'm still in the process of catching up on a lot of games of the Fallout series. Actually, as it happens, Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas, I have actually just bought them. I thought they might actually arrive today as well. But in the next day or two, they should arrive from eBay. And what I'm going to do, give you a proper answer, I'm going to do a big special Fallout video just for you, Mr. Bottomley, and I'm going to give you my thoughts and views on what I'm sure are two fantastic shooters. So that seems to be the end of this Q&A video. 100 subscribers. Q&A.
Well, it's definitely the end, because I've only got about 20 or 30 seconds left of battery life on this camera. So very quickly, I want to say a big thank you to everyone who left comments for me to answer. Also to all the people who subscribed to my channel, everyone from Future Map 5 to Darren Warshock, who else, Ninja Bear Hug, CRT Cade, Bullet Sponge, Mr. Oreo 76. I don't think I'm going to be able to name another 90 people, but yeah, everyone who subscribed to my channel, thank you. The videos, haven't done many gameplay videos recently, but normal service will be resumed very soon. I'll be getting back to some gameplay videos, maybe doing a few pickup videos as well. So while I've got time, I'm just going to say very quickly, thank you all so much, you guys. You're all awesome. And I'm going to see you all again very soon.